Hey all, Gabrielle here. I'm just sharing based on what I've walked up to this point and how the process and the principles has supported me to keep standing even though there's been quite a fall. And so honestly, within the fall, there exists also a point of getting back up. And through walking your consequences of what you've accepted and allowed, or what I've accepted and allowed, within and as this reality, there exists a point of rebirth, even where it doesn't seem possible. So I have accepted and allowed many points of addiction and injustices within myself through points such as following or giving my power away of insight, self-realization to others who I believe or had beliefs that were more powerful than me, or I had more understanding or smarter, so I couldn't within myself walk what is here, but I need others to walk for me or give me insight. When I see, realize, and understand within that there is self-dishonesty and self Come on, slow down, Charlotte. Exists within and as self-dishonesty. And through that, one does have to face the time loops and consequences of one's actions, but also you can, as I'm understanding and walking, get back up and continue your process of standing up for life and what is best for all. Doing what is best within the time that is here, within each breath. And what has supported me throughout has been self-forgiveness and breathing and stopping thoughts. Because thoughts is the product of the mind consciousness system as yourself, as self has become the mind consciousness system through thinking and through accepting thoughts as real. And what I'm understanding is that no thoughts are real and no thoughts are relevant within and as a point of separating oneself from the reality of self here, which is the separations that self has accepted and allowed to be lived out, such as addictions, for instance, or believing thoughts that some are better than others, or the pursuit of your goals is relevant in terms of this life and making it and being a winner and getting those awards or money or the best job, when in reality that is within self-interest, self-greed. Because within those alignments, self is the one that is only considering. Charlotte! Self is the only one considering the point of one's own world, which is common sense. But what actually has to be realized, and what I'm realizing within the falls and the mistakes and the self-dishonesties and addictions that I've accepted and allowed, that none of it is actually real, and it all will create a consequence of regret and harm. The regret comes from realizing that you're harming others, you're creating the suffering, and you're part, or self is part, I'm part of the consequence of life becoming enslaved within and without. So the gift of life that has been given to support is self-forgiveness and taking responsibility for the consequences that have been created by self. And in that, one can live the change, which is breathing here, stopping one's thoughts, and doing what is best for all, which is standing up for life, standing up for self as life, as all within this reality that is life here, and equality and oneness of all life. Because in the end, that's what everybody is actually wanting, is a world safe for self and for children and for all the animals and for everything that exists here. And even if you have fallen, even if you feel like you can't keep going or it feels impossible, there is a way, because there is self-forgiveness, there is self-change, there is self-realization through writing and self-forgiveness and understanding the living principles that will support our life. And if self exists within greed or desire, realize that that's just the mind consciousness system, which only creates separation and the existence of what we're seeing in our reality today as war, as poverty, starvation, all the polarities. Because in our minds we're thinking about things that actually are irrelevant in the reality that is physical, that is life, that is one and equal to self, within and without. And there are support groups that are available within the Desteni networks and the self-perfected networks. And within that, one can get supported and find the support, because it does take the support of many to bring through a new reality that is best for all life. But within self, each one is facing their own minds, their own thoughts, and having to stop that. as thinking is what is creating the separation within self. So it's a process of forgiveness and self-forgiveness, self-realization, and then living the change. And my point here is that even if it feels like it's impossible, or that you've created so much consequence, it's okay. Just breathe, get back up, and keep walking the self-forgiveness, realizing that you understand the difference of self-dishonesty and self-honesty. And within that, you start living those changes, like stopping the addictions that brought you to a point of giving up or feeling like it's impossible. So there is, through breathing, through stopping your thoughts, through using common sense, and physically changing self through your day-to-day, change is possible. And as more stand and realize that the self-interest and greed is not what's best for all and will not continue within and as this reality, as it's creating abuse, and each one will face their own self-abuse that they've accepted and allowed within self. And within that, you can support change and support yourself to be more physical and more aligned to life through the tools that Desteni, our process of self-forgiveness and doing what is best for all, through the change of yourself and realizing that it's worth it, as the physical is not an infinite system, it's a finite, and that it requires understanding of self as the creator, within and without. And yeah, I just wanted to share some insight through what I've walked thus far, through my process of self-forgiveness, understanding my own mind, my own actions, and changing myself, even when it is tough and it feels impossible. Self can keep walking, and never giving up on what is best for all is self, what is best for all within and as this reality, as everything exists within that point of self-life here. Thanks for listening.